Shut up and sit down.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Rebel Trading Group Podcast. It is episode 65. Today's date is 7/7/2019, July 7th, 2019. My name is Nathan Oliphant, and with me, as always, is the gluten-free Jason Bessing.
The gluten-free
Let's give
Jason
it up.
Bessing,
Give it up.
not to be confused with any other Jason Bessing that may be present.
And we have a special guest on this show tonight.
We do. We have somebody with us for the first time ever on the Rebel Trading Group Podcast. Please, let's give it up for Justin Bustin Lavieri.
Thank you very much, guys. I was the aforementioned bitch in the last episode that they were referring to.
So he did listen to it.
You listened.
Yes.
It was a test.
He listened to it. So Justin, welcome to the show.
Thank
You're
you
the
for
first
having me.
guest, hopefully not the last guest.
Definitely. I'm sure you have many more.
Hit us with a little bit about who you are. You don't have to go into crazy details, but tell us a little bit about your background and what you do, like your industry and stuff, and then why you have interest in the financial markets.
Okay.
about
no
that?
problem. So yeah, that sounds good. We'll go with that. So I work in the hospitality industry. Was a cook for a little while. Transferred to the front of house. Doing that whole grind. My interest in the stock market began with you guys, really, honestly. Always talking about it and urging me to make that first step to get into it. And now that I have, God, it's an addiction, man. It I'm sure you guys know.
It's like adult gambling, I like to say.
It is.
Which gambling in itself is adult, but
Right.
I think this is like a little bit like a step above.
It's big boy gambling, though. But at the same time, like we're not going to a roulette table, picking out 5 numbers and hoping for the best. Like we're kind of looking at things that are in our favor. And
Dude,
at the time,
I don't know. Sometimes I'm like looking at stocks.
I mean,
like
sometimes we do look for
roulette
those.
tables.
Sometimes we do look for
sometimes
those shots. We look for those
It
long
does
shots.
feel like that.
But at the end of the day, though, we're looking to put odds in our favor. So basically, while we
Right.
are gambling, we're the house. That's the way I like to look at it. I'm a shareholder. I get
Sometimes.
dividends. I collect revenue. We're the house.
That's true. And
And the house doesn't always
something
win.
that-
Sometimes people slip through your fingers, and they make a few $100,000. That's part of the business.
when I found out about dividends, that's when I thought, okay, this might be a good idea to start, at least educating myself on it. Start with a little bit of money, definitely
Do you have
educate yourself on
Do you have a favorite dividend stock?
right now, I don't. God, I was just thinking of one earlier, actually. So I heard it on, what do you call it? Invest Talk, sorry. I heard about it, and it was, you know what, honestly, though, I'm going to bring this up, but I kind of like Carnival as a dividend
Nice.
stock right now.
Really?
It's really, like, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I kind of got it just to wait for it to climb a little bit in a couple months, because the vacation season, they always spike up, and then just dump it when it goes up a couple percent, kind of.
She's been getting hit
here
hard
and
for
there,
the
but-
past year. She's currently paying a 4.26% dividend. 4.25%. That's strong on a blue chip company. Market cap
What's the
31
difference
bill.
What's the difference between CUK and CCL?
CUK
CCL.
CCL is Carnival Cruise Lines, but CUK is Carnival Cruise Lines, but they're the United Kingdom shares.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had
So
no
basically,
idea. I own the stock.
it's
I don't
two
know.
shares to the same company, such as how Google
Right.
has A and C
Alphabets.
shares. A and C shares. The B shares are apparently for insiders only. But there is weird ones out there like that where the company is split into two. I think,
Right.
if I'm not mistaken, Unilever is one that's UN and also UL. I could be wrong.
I'm sure there's other bigger companies that do that too, right? I mean,
Coca-Cola and
like,
Coca-Cola bottling.
That's true too. Like how they spun
Right.
off their franchising service to where you get to bottle it and distribute it to your local areas, and you're a bottler. Yeah,
Right.
that's
that's
another.
just like Amazon paying for like a logistics company, right? I mean, that's kind of similar.
Yeah, like a
It's Shire-
subsidiary.
It's the same
Shire
product,
B.
but getting it. What's that?
Berkshire A and Berkshire B.
That's another
right,
good
right,
one. Chewy, the newly IPO'd online mega store for pets, is actually it's a subsidiary of PetSmart, who is not publicly traded, but Chewy is. So it's a division of PetSmart that is publicly traded. So it's just a piece of it, which I found interesting as well.
What is their position
there's
on
lots
Chewy?
of. I mean, I played it on IPO day and it spiked up, but I didn't get out, and then it just came all the way back down. I bought in at 38. It's at 34.27.
Is the subscription service industry gonna last long? Like things like Blue Apron. I'm not talking about technology subscription like Netflix, because they've obviously got that. Netflix has got something locked in that no one else has. But I'm talking about like
Pricing
other
power.
subscription services like meal prep in particular.
Right. I've actually used a couple of those, and I gotta say, like I cooked for a living for a good amount of time, right? So I noticed, like, when they send these things, they send you instructions, and it's really user friendly, man. And I really liked using those because, like as a cook, you can make that no problem. But for somebody who doesn't cook a lot, you can knock out like a really good meal in like 30, 40 minutes, maybe, prep and everything, like start to finish. Which may seem like a while, but it's really not.
It's not. Yeah. My question is like, okay, great. It's a great service, and I agree with.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong. This is where I'm wrong. Is it gonna make money though?
That I don't know.
It seems to be a case.
You've got so many IPOs that are coming out this year. They're saying, "Don't expect us to make money." Uber and Lyft are two examples. It's just common. Like feel for like this subscription service, and like Blue Apron's doing shit as well. They're gonna have to reverse split soon.
Right.
Again.
Yeah. Snapchat. I don't know how long they might come out of the red.
Apron seems to be a
Pinterest.
concept of good idea but bad business. Like
What,
it's a great
Snap?
idea, or no, Blue Apron. Like everybody
okay.
would like that. We're actually members of a different one called HelloFresh. We were actually we got a package by them by mistake, so we called them and they said, "Hey, well, we can't take it back, so enjoy it. This one's on us, and if you like it, keep it, and hopefully you're a member." So we cooked up this awesome 2 dinners, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, we're gonna sign up for it." And the convenience,
It's actually brilliant marketing,
dude. It's so simple. Yeah, like, oh yeah, here's just free shit.
Yeah, right.
But
free trial.
we're actually members of that, and like you said, it's very user friendly. They send you every ingredient that you need. The only thing you might need to have is a little bit of salt, basic shit, olive oil.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. But as far as revenue goes, I have them pulled up like negative 70% return on equity.
Not good.
No, not good. Not good at all. Got reverse
not a good
split,
one.
I think 4 times now. It's now trading at $7.30. It's going to have to reverse split again.
Damn.
$98 million market cap. Like this, and nobody wants to buy them. Nobody sees this as an opportunity to just
Blue
scoop them
Apron?
up. Yeah.
What are some of the competitors?
Well, Amazon,
Amazon
is taking on. Yeah, Amazon's
is
taking
part
on,
of that.
on good. Are they part of Blue Apron?
No, they're different.
Yeah, they're getting their own. They're getting their foot in the game.
Yeah, and then we
Really?
use HelloFresh, who's another competitor. Now I don't know who has what market share. I'm honestly not that. I haven't looked that far into this industry.
There's a lot out there now, and there's different diets out there as well.
Yeah, there's some that's like for get your keto delivered to your house.
Ridiculous.
Right.
Can't stand
So I think it's once again a
It's
concept
dangerous.
of
Putting your body into ketosis. I don't know. I'm not a freaking clinical
whatever.
physician. Who am I?
good idea, bad business.
I think
Moving on,
Amazon's doing
so-
the right thing by attaching onto it though, kind of getting a little skin.
Did you guys hear about what Walmart is talking about offering over the next couple of years?
Delivered to your fridge.
Yes, that thing.
Yeah,
Weird.
that's awesome.
of
They're
my
gonna wear
house.
body cams.
Get out of my
Yeah,
house.
so you can. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I heard that, and I mean, initially, I'm like anybody else. I'd be like, I don't want somebody just coming in my house, like that kind of thing. But then I thought about the practical uses of it. For like people like say can't get around so well. You know what I mean? Like maybe you're a little older,
You're
or like you're
old
disabled
folks.
or something, and yeah. I mean,
Or
that
you're
could
rich
that
as
could
fuck.
right, or you just can't be bothered to go to the store for whatever reason. Yeah, exactly.
I can't
Like
be
it.
bothered by menial peasantry. I have to have you guys put this in my own fridge.
Yeah, I got a $6 billion company to run.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, can't go to Walmart. Fucking me.
I don't know. That's ambitious.
Sorry, didn't mean to curse.
No, it's ambitious.
No, fucking go for it, bro.
Okay,
You can fucking cuss on here. We have no regulations.
I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
but-
How's it taste,
I wanna keep-
motherfucker?
I want to keep it professional, you know, first time on and all that.
No,
Sorry, we'll let that one slide.
throw that all out the window here.
I think
All right,
I think
so-
Walmart's definitely Walmart's the CEO carries around a chart of like the top companies during like each decade in the past 50 years or something
Right.
like that. And it shows like how like Kmart and Toys R Us were like some of the top retailers, and Sears and JCPenney's, and Walmart starts to like slowly get up on these decades, and now they're at the top.
Right.
They've been at the top. And like now Kmart's now at the bottom and stuff like that. And he says he carries it around with him to humble him. So I just wonder how long like Walmart's, I don't know. They're big. And their presence is big too.
I've often not worried about them, obviously, because it's, you know, it's a company, but I often wonder about that because, like, with Amazon coming out, like the whole, I feel like technology is just steering us in a way as humans that keeps us, as cliche as it may sound, kind of like the ending of that movie WALL-E, where everybody's just like in a fucking chair,
Exactly.
and, you know, staring at a screen and not having to get up and do anything. I think it's like not keeping us, but making it easier for people to not have to go outside if you don't want. You know what I mean? Like, and
Exactly.
like Amazon completely flipped the game with the whole. I mean,
Long Amazon.
yeah. I mean,
And these
you know,
huge
you can do all your
corporations
shopping.
are just fucking huge economic vacuums that just all creativity and fucking power and everything just sucks it in on all this fucking money because people are just throwing their money at them. Yeah, give me this. Bring it right in my fucking house. Fucking stream that shit directly to my pupils. Fuck yeah, just fucking here, take it. And the people at the top are just sucking in $100 of bills. Getting
Wiping
blown
their
on
butts.
some Fijian island.
Jesus.
Getting blown in the
I
islands
don't-
of Fiji.
That's Walmart.
I don't remember if I said this on the last podcast, but Amazon paid a negative 1% tax rate in 2018.
How
What's
is
going
that?
on with that? Can somebody please explain that to me? Because
There's like, I guess they had like some like tax credits of like stock credits or something like that. And I think it had a lot to do with maybe, I'm assuming, I have to read into it. I'm sure there's a definite answer, but I'm assuming it has to do with stock credits given to Bezos' wife.
that's because they did just get divorced recently, right?
Yeah.
I think that was like a thing that happened.
There's not one sell rating on Amazon. There's
Not one.
Not
Nancy
one.
Pelosi, I think it was like
The
last
lowest you
year,
got
she
is
bought-
buy.
She bought January 2020 calls for Amazon.
Oh yeah, she disclosed her fucking holdings.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had like 1,000 of them, didn't she?
Insanity.
1,000 Amazon calls.
That's crazy.
Nancy Pelosi calling you.
That's a fucking politician.
Ugh.
I mean, isn't the numbers big enough? They have to.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's got to be
at a
some sort of
certain point.
transparency there. Especially
Amazon's a great
because
company. Their
if they
numbers,
commit
like,
some
don't
sort
lie.
of if they commit some sort of crazy crime, the first thing the FBI is going to do is freeze all their assets. So they can't do
Right.
shit with the economy or the I don't know, politics or whatever.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, if it was just, you know, the three of us, we wouldn't have to disclose unless we had investors to report to, or, you know, an American population.
Right.
OB Capital has investors.
Who's investing in you?
I can't disclose that information over the air.
They asked. It's private equity.
Yeah.
Private equity.
Private equity.
No more questions.
No, we're great. No comment.
I do not recall.
So
So-
today's Sunday, guys. Markets are closed. We had a day off on Thursday, half a day on Wednesday. how's crypto doing, buddy?
So, cryptos haven't really done much this weekend. They've had a little bit of a, I don't want to say a volatile ride by any means, but just the normal bounces up and down on Bitcoin. Past 24 hours, it's up 3%. Which is honestly boring for the past crypto run that we've had. Only up 4% on the week, but seems to be in somewhat of a sideways trend for, ever since about July 2nd, about 5 days ago. Hasn't really done much, kind of traversed sideways. I mean, yeah, it's gone up 4%, but I don't know.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm still playing this volatility. I'm still buying this.
You said there was no volatility this week.
I mean, not this weekend. Yeah, there hasn't been much in a few days. I mean, I've just kind of been holding small positions here and there, but I haven't seen any opportunities to just hop on like, hey, here we go. It's time to buy. Shit, I'm running.
We're on a dip right now.
Well, I feel okay.
Like I haven't had that. I haven't had the FOMO.
Seems like a great time to buy.
Absolutely, and we haven't had that.
That's what I mean. Yeah, there's no like.
Cryptocurrency is tough to buy into, like on a dip. It'll get volatile real quick and just be like, oh fuck it, everybody wants to sell, everybody wants to jump.
It'll just spike 7%. One in the morning, just spike 7% for no fucking reason.
Yeah, exactly. That's like you almost gotta.
Your mom used to say, like, if your friends jump off a bridge, you're gonna jump off with them. Well, fucking, that's what Bitcoin is.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone else already bought. You're gonna come in. You're gonna be the last one in line. Yeah.
I mean, I bought in on the Doge, or is it Dodge or Doge?
Doge.
I don't know how I've been saying it.
We go Doge.
Okay, I bought in on Doge just because Nate was preaching it. And I look into it, I'm like, yeah, okay, cool.
Fuck looking into it.
Look, set them up. Let's play.
Its price movement is like so much different than its fundamentals.
I
don't think it's the worst thing, man.
I don't either. I think that I love what you guys said on the last episode. Like, what if it goes to $200?
Jesus, it will never do that.
I know that, but
there's
could you imagine you wake up one day like,
dude, if this thing goes to a penny. This thing goes to a penny or 3 pennies.
Yeah, anything above.
It was at like 2 cents. If you go back on the 5-year chart, it got all the way up to like 2.5 cents.
The rest of the bulls, yeah.
I'm sorry, 1.7 cents.
Yeah, still.
But yeah, jeez. It's fun to trade. Like, I'm sitting on 25,600 of them right now.
That's such an absurd
and
number.
It's only $91. Yeah.
25,000 shares of a.
And it's only 91.
Basically a cryptocurrency.
Yeah, my next order is to buy 64,000.
What is that about? $50?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. No. 64,000, 118.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay, I can't math. Yeah, but okay.
So we're just out here having a good time. The volatility hasn't been there lately, but it's holding this somewhat high.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to interrupt you with my finance.
No, go
news.
on. Yeah, I was just wrapping it up.
I get it. It's okay. In finance news, we have banks passed another stress test. I believe the last time they passed a stress test, the banks were allowed to increase buybacks and increase dividends. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the stress test the Fed does on these big banks is basically if they could survive an economic recession, right?
Yeah.
I would assume so. I honestly don't know that much about.
I think it's like kind of just testing. Like, if you were going to buy back your shares, are you going to be able to provide liquidity to the people who are holding their money in your bank?
There you go.
I think that's what it is. Are you going to abuse the
yes.
money to buy back your shares to raise your stock price, and then when the shit hits the fan, nobody's going to be able to get their money out? I think that's kind of what it is. So I think what these stress tests really are kind of given scenarios to where if this chunk of the pie was missing, how would you be able to operate?
The financial sector of the S&P 500 XLF put up numbers 0.77%, so that's not bad on that.
Yeah.
News.
Up 6% in the
terrible.
past year. Hasn't really done much ever since I've been training. Hasn't really done much.
What's the dividend on that?
Poor, ass poor. Let me
2.15. That's hilarious.
Ass poor.
1.5 or I'm sorry, 1.9%.
No, I'm looking at 2.5 on. I don't know. You might be right. I'm not gonna argue.
Finviz.
It's somewhere. Yeah, it's somewhere around there.
Finviz. 56 a year.
Yes.
That's not good. It's not enough for me to like want to hold that ETF.
56 cents. It's not a lot. You know what's a good dividend payer, Justin? Is Store Capital.
Yeah.
Right, you should look them up. Warren Buffett, he used to invest heavily in Store Capital.
Right.
And I don't know, if you look at their numbers right now, they're put like when I was buying them, they were in like 25 and they're at 33 right now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good. That ain't bad at all.
3.87% dividend.
I was actually looking up.
4.52 here.
So I have on here on my Yahoo Finance under like one of my shortcuts,
Yes.
dividend growth leaders. Because I they always tell you, don't look at the dividend, look at the growth, yada, yada, yada. And they give me like a top 10, Johnson & Johnson, Exxon. But the two that I really, really like, obviously only one of them I can really afford, would be Coca-Cola and McDonald's. Because regardless of what happens, yeah, those guys ain't going anywhere. Like
Long McDonald's. Short Burger King.
A gentleman
exactly.
a gentleman I know once said, no matter how bad the economy is, people will go out to eat and they will get a Coke.
Agreed. Yep. That's my dad said that to me actually.
Yeah, that's who that gentleman is.
I think this is my personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I think the beverage industry is kind of hitting a lull until something. I guess it's kind of picking up with like these types of waters and stuff like that, and also cannabis infused drinks.
I was just gonna say because Anheuser-Busch has a huge interest in the cannabis industry. Not a lot of people know that, but like a lot of
Have you
people.
seen these like alcoholic spritzers as well?
Yeah, there's
No,
lots of
what are those?
seltzers and hard waters going
Tons of
on.
them now, man.
Well, there's definitely a millennial factor in that.
Yes.
They're ditching the sugary bullshit. We're definitely
White Claw.
ditching. Yeah, and they're
White Claw,
ditching
bro.
ditching beer. They're going to White Claws and spritzers. Hell, lots of rosé. Rosé's fucking the new trend. I feel like rosé is
Well,
like
I mean,
so
like-
in right now. I
Any-
like a bottle of
anytime-
rosé, please.
Like anytime anybody orders something like that at the restaurant, people are like, oh, this guy over here drinking a hard seltzer or whatever. I actually always think of Jason. I'm like, well, don't judge the guy. He might have celiac or something. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? Like,
I have to drink that shit.
Exactly. You don't have a choice. But there are people who are I hate to say this, but they bought into the whole gluten-free fad.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, this is my gluten-free diet. I can't
Absolutely.
have gluten. And they're absolutely stupid. Like I have no sympathy for those people, but
Jeez.
that kind of created a market, like a niche market for these companies to be like, yeah, here's a seltzer water with 0.08 alcohol.
Well, in the non-alcoholic
6%
world,
alcohol.
in the non-alcoholic world, they're ditching. I mean, quote unquote, not me so much because I get that shit on tap at work all day, every day. But millennials are ditching sodas and they're going more to teas, waters, juices. They're ditching beer, drinking a little bit more liquor, which I don't think Anheuser-Busch has a strong foothold in. I don't think
No,
they
I
have a
don't
lot
believe
of
so.
liquor division. I think they're mostly beer brands, if I'm not mistaken. And then on top of that, the cannabis train is leaving, and tobacco industries and beverage industries are kind of like latching on to that as much as they possibly can. And Coca-Cola,
When you say the train is leaving, what do you mean by that? Just real quick.
It's like the hype's getting over.
It's the hype's getting over. The industry is finally being like each and every day we're getting closer and closer to the full-on legalization. And then there'll be FDA
Right.
approvals to cannabis-infused drinks, and they'll be able to be served in restaurants and lounges and stuff, and people will be able to smoke weed in facilities. And millennials, at the same time, on the health kicks that we quote-unquote have, they're also ditching tobacco. A lot of them are not smoking. Now they may be switching to vapes, but that's a whole different
Right.
ball game.
Jewel, bro.
Which, of course,
Yeah.
tobacco also already bought into that. So in the declining tobacco industry, they're finding ways to stay relevant, which is very important. And beverage industries are doing the same thing with these cannabis things. I know Coca-Cola has a small venture in it,
Right.
but I'm not sure about Anheuser-Busch, but if you look at Constellation Brands, has a humongous portfolio, including like Corona and Dos Equis and all those brands. I don't think Jack Daniels, but Johnny Walker, lots of scotches and stuff. They all fall under Constellation Brands, and they're taking stake in international cannabis companies. Cannot invest in state.
Right, because
stateside,
it's still federally illegal.
It's still
right?
federally illegal, and then their money would be going illegally to those companies. So what they're doing is they're investing in Canadian cannabis companies or Australian and English cannabis companies.
Right, people who have figured out that this is like not the worst thing ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Because for some reason America's still behind on that.
Yeah,
I just bought some Litecoin.
Sorry, I'm
hey, good for you. Give us the deets.
Okay. Give us the deets. We're at $119.95 on Robinhood right now. Coming in hot at a full Litecoin. Yours truly.
Yeah, so right now, Anheuser-Busch is listed actually as a cannabis stock. It's the top performing cannabis stock.
Wow. A and B. What's their symbol? AB?
BUD.
That's right. Oh my God! I can't believe I just asked that. I should have known
I'm
that
enjoying
one.
right now.
Look at that V pattern. Jesus. Pull up the 1 year on Bud, if you would, gentlemen.
Yep, pulling it up right now.
That is fucking textbook right there.
There are ladies out there as well.
Yeah, but I'm talking specifically to the twos of you.
The twos of us.
Do you see that 1 year though? Man, that's hindsight investing at its finest. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Right.
It's hard to buy into that.
That dip in.
I actually had call options before that fucking right before that fucking plummet.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal.
I feel like they could pay a better dividend. I don't know.
It could.
Yeah. And what's the dividend on that though?
It's only. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, they definitely could be better, but.
That's one of the reasons I'm not a fan of Disney. They're like so huge and they have all this money and power and everything, but they have an ass dividend.
I mean,
dude, I was thinking
if your market cap's that big,
calls.
Bro.
What's that? Disney calls?
I mean, on a solid dip, maybe.
Absolutely.
That's tough.
No, I mean, with everything they're doing, man, like.
They released the Mulan trailer today.
Yeah, that's going to be big
crazy.
for them. Yeah, I mean,
long Disney.
Yeah, the Disney's it's one of those things that, and I mean, I'm in Orlando, so I could tell you
that see it every day.
It is everywhere. It's like, ugh,
that's
dude. It's like
reason people come
into
your work.
It's like a stink you can't wash off here, man. I swear, and I say that because I'm not a big fan of the company itself. I mean, would I invest in it? Absolutely. Do I like the way that they treat their employees? No. I mean, it's anybody that works for Disney, man. It's like it's the Amazon of entertainment.
They're a conglomerate, dude. They've handed so many hands in so many bags out there.
Right.
Well.
Right. All right, guys. Well, you guys want to go with tomorrow's a brand new, fresh week, first full trading week of July, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's do. What are you watching?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do with what are you watching? I'm actually watching gold. I can continue to watch the Nugget NUGT. I actually bought a position right at the market opened on Friday, and it dropped all the way down to about 10%, and then finished almost positive on the day. So I have a few shares sitting for me at market open on a 10% gain, which I'm very happy about. So I'm going to watch gold specifically to see if I should add on to the rally or kind of get out before a dip happens once again. It continues to be pretty volatile. And if you go triple leverage, you got basically the volatility of cryptocurrencies working with you on a commodity. So I'm a fan of gold here.
Okay. Justin, do you want to go next? Or want me to
go. You go next.
Okay, I don't want to take yours.
No, you good.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of, I was thinking of maybe just doing Disney. I was thinking of that before the podcast as well. Honestly, dude, I'm just going to throw this out here. I don't know. If the market's good tomorrow, and I think it might be, I don't know, I have to look at futures. I think Disney might have some good news on this Mulan stuff right here. So
when does that come out?
I don't know. But they're gonna be coming on numbers of off of the Avengers, coming off of that, and plus Aladdin as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, big time.
And then the new Star Wars is coming up in January.
Yep. So
the Star Wars World.
We're in the middle of cruising season.
Yeah.
Inflated prices on cheap oil.
That's kind of why I brought up Disney. Disney calls, excuse me.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on there. Definitely long Disney.
So, Justin, give it to us. Lay it on me.
Oh, what to watch? You know, I was thinking about this, and I'm looking for a ticker symbol now.
Nice.
And you guys can help me out with this for the shorting of the S&P that you can trade on Robinhood. Do you find that ticker symbol?
Well,
SH,
SH is the single inverse, and SPXL is the triple inverse.
SPXL, so I'm going to go with that one. I'm just going to pull this up because I really think, everybody's talking about this whole thing like, oh, there's going to be a recession. We don't know when. We don't know how bad, blah, blah, blah. Nathan's brought up a couple times about how the student loan debt is going to be the gasoline on that fire, whereas in the housing market, it was mortgages.
I think it's plausible.
I think you're absolutely right. And when that does happen, this is going to be what you want to own, and get it now when everybody's like, oh, the economy's in great shape. And when that bubble bursts, I think that's going to be a big move. I don't know how big, but I think it's very plausible.
I think
that's something
SH,
you hold on to,
I think SH and SPXL for your portfolio is good to just slap right on there, especially for your size.
There you go. You got it when it happens.
I can't recommend loading up on a short right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't just call bullshit right here at market tops,
Say, fuck it, I'm going in. It's time to short it.
Right, yeah, no.
Michael Burry comes in and says, give me all the student loan recipients who are in default.
I swear, I think of that every time I watch that movie. And my roommates will tell you I do watch it frequently. Several reasons. Steve Carell, best performance he's ever had ever. And it's an amazing film. But yes, every time it's like just Michael Burry that shit, dude. You see it. It's coming. He's gonna make some money off it.
Man. I can't wait for a bear market where it's just like a good 6 to 7 months. What does it have to retrace 10% to be in a correction?
They say 20.
20% to be
20
a correction?
I'm sorry, that's a bear market. 10% is correction.
Okay, that's what I was asking. 20% for a bear market, perfect.
That's if you go by the CNBCers of the world.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't wait till it's starts that. I'll start fucking flooding my money into some triple leverage funds.
Now, real quick, I have one question before we all sign off here.
Maybe you're right.
Because it's July and it's coming up. Is the Fed cutting rates this year?
Ooh, maybe in July. But honest, I think
I don't think they will quite yet.
Trump? No, isn't Trump appointing some dovish chairmans?
I'm not sure.
Dovish means
honestly,
that
I go to you with all my political questions. So.
Hey, the Fed is non-political, bro. Remember?
Yeah, I know it's a private company. I know.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Don't forget to put your quotation marks in that statement.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap this up. This was a fun episode, man. It was a good, nice.
This is good. Yeah.
This was fun. We should do this more often.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me on.
I appreciate the input.
We should get back into more focused episodes.
Yeah. More topic driven.
Yeah.
Because we kind of just
Start
chilled the
with a
past
topic.
2 ones. Yeah.
And
Justin,
and,
you were
and
the
I-
topic.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, thank
you were
you.
the topic of
I
choice.
got a suggestion. Feel free to take
Yeah.
it or leave it here.
We're going to leave it here. We're going to cut the
'cause-
clip right here.
No suggestion for you. So when I was listening on the last episode, I was thinking to myself, like, you guys were talking about doing covered calls and such, and I'm not even gonna lie, I'm gonna be very open about this. I don't fully understand what's going on there, so I may interject and just be like, okay, for somebody who may not know, can you guys briefly explain? That way, kind of like sum it up into layman's terms. Just a suggestion, take it or leave it.
We can link you to our covered call episode.
Yeah.
I think we have an episode on that. We've definitely talked about it several times. But if you want, I
Right.
can actually send you a series of videos that really helped me understand options, like in simple form.
So, right, but yeah, I've actually seen a couple on YouTube. I started looking them up and doing my own research. But if you have more, do send those. But like what I'm saying is for the podcast itself, if people are listening who may not understand it, I can kind of be like, okay, say you don't know what, whatever it is, whatever you guys are talking about.
Okay.
That way you can kind of, just take it or leave it, just kind of educate people as you entertain them and such.
We might have to make that one a video. We could do a real life case study. Show you like what happened through a trade rather than a hypothetical one. And we can use
You
real
can get your
numbers.
whiteboard out.
Yeah.
Draw
Real
some
numbers.
diagrams.
Excel spreadsheets and shit. We'll look real smart.
Yeah, do it up.
Call examples.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, insults, ideas, or corrections, please hit us at Rebel Trading Group with 2 G's. That's Rebel Trading Group at gmail.com. We are on Soundcloud. We are on iTunes. We are on Stock Twits. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube, where we have a full archive of all of our videos and episodes that will always be free for you, always. So, always. Well, this was a fun one, gentlemen. Justin, always a pleasure. Congratulations
Thank you so
on
much for having me.
getting your foot in this beautiful door and taking hold of your financial future and kind of shook you up to the world, I bet, right? It did for me. Like, holy shit, this goes on. This fucking goes on. There was a
People know of this?
people know of this. They don't teach this in school.
They totally should. 'Cause
That's how I
it's
was.
really
I
not that
completely lost
difficult.
faith in the United States once I learned about this shit. Like, oh my god, what? So I'm glad you're a part of that.
Hey, man, thank you guys for having me. It was a lot of fun.
We'll try to see you guys again this week.
Absolutely.
Later.
Later.
Romantic, isn't it? Shut up and sit down.